So we talked about being in our 60s and how we view things differently. What kind of tips would you have for the viewers as far as how you embrace the culture? How do you introduce yourself into the culture? How do you find things to do that actually allow you to get into the culture?
Well, I tell you that with any luck at all, I'm going to come up with a reality TV show so people can follow me and see how I do it. And I don't do it a whole lot differently than a lot of other people. It's easy to do once you kind of get comfortable in a culture or comfortable with yourself. The best way for me is, people tease me all the time because I'm a shopper, but for me the reason I shop is because it gives you an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody. If you approach it right, it can be humorous, it can be fun, it can be lighthearted, and if you're really haggling for something, you kind of get to know the person. And in getting to know the person, you start to create a relationship, and then you buy whatever, or you walk away because you haven't settled on a price or whatever, and then you come back the next day. Well, now by this time, if you're in an Arab country, you're going to be invited to sit down and have a cup of tea. Never, ever refuse the cup of tea, because that starts the whole thing off. You sit down with them. I'm sure this has happened to you. You sit down with them and you're having your cup of tea. And as Americans, we want to feel like, well, they're just trying to soften us up so we'll buy their product. And they're not. That is part of their hospitality. And before you know it, you start a rapport, and you start talking about your children, you talk about where you live, you talk about your views on things, and you create a bond and a relationship. I can't tell you how many times I have been invited to dinner or out to lunch by shopkeepers. I've been given some amazing gifts by shopkeepers, and it's not because I spent a lot of money there. It was because we became friends, and there are people I still write to, I still email to, that I am still connected to, and they were great relationships. And so for me, I find shopping the easiest way to do it, because that's the one place that you can be comfortable to start a conversation.
I understand. That sounds good.